Hi everybody, Jo here. So you know what that means. Grab yourself that brew, that cheeky biscuit, and let's have a catch up. Today we're going to do a fun technique. We're just going to do something completely different. I've had some lovely emails recently, and thank you to all of you that have got in touch. And I know a couple of you are really struggling at the minute. I know it's a hard time, and I know a few of you have suffered losses with the present situation, and I'm coming in just as a friend, just somebody that you can put me on, we can have a brew together, we can have a chat, and we're just going to do something fun. It's a great technique, this, and as always, I'm just going to teach it the way I like to do it. There's lots of videos around on it. If you've done it before, it might just be a refresher. I'm not saying it's my technique, it's not. It's just something that's fun to do. And what's lovely is, as I say, at the minute, I think we all need something that's a bit of fun and something to just re-motivate us. So we're going to get motivated. Now, these are my finished pieces. So in case you haven't guessed, we're going to do the string and the paint technique. And this is just, as I say, such fun. And it is a bit addictive. So if I were you, I'd get plenty of card ready, and there's lots of different paints you can use. Today I'm going to be using the Paper Artsy, the fresco finish paints, but there's lots of different paints you can use, and these are a couple of pieces that I've made. Now what I'm going to show you is the actual technique, and when you do the technique, this is the print, the sort of print you will get. And where you take this from then, that is just up to your imagination. And that, again, is another fun bit. I've just got a couple of finished pieces here to show you. The first one here, I've added some ink around the edge when dry, and I've stamped some of my favourite Lavinia stamps because I thought this looked like an underwater scene. And we've got some fabulous underwater stamps. This one, I just braided some of my paint on the background randomly, and for me this is my Arum Lily, and I've used some chalk pencils just to add colour, a couple of flicks of my Posca pen, you know I love my Posca pen, a word, and for me that's my piece of art, and I'm actually going to frame that and put that on the wall in my craft room. So let me show you how we make these. We're going to put those to one side. Now, simple little technique, you need a couple of things. Piece of string. Okay, how long's a piece of string? Good question. About this long. Now this technique will vary depending on what sort of result you get. And again, just have a play. You can use thin string, you get a different effect. Thicker string, you get a different effect. The same thing, different paints give you different effects. So just have a play. I just want to come in and give you that starting point. So, coffee stirrer. Now this time we're actually going to use the coffee stirrer. We're not going to stamp on it. Now I would suggest 3 colours, but again, it's up to you. You can add more if you want. Just be careful you don't make mud. Now my suggestion is your mixing pot. Go for something, this one's about, I did measure it before and I've forgotten, 6 centimetres. If it's too large an area, you almost waste more paint. So I don't, you know me, I'm a bit stingy. I don't want to waste my paint. So I just want to put a dollop, sort of about that much. And I'm going to put that of each of the colours. And I want to keep them quite separate, because as you do the technique, the technique almost mixes the paint for you. So I don't want to mix it to start off with, but that's just what I've discovered. If you get a nice result by mixing it, you know what I say, you just go ahead and do it however it suits you is the best. And all we're going to do is, we don't want to cover all of the string. Oh, I've got a knot in it, look. So any knots in your string, take them out. Now, this coffee stirrer is going to be the prodder for me, and what I want is I want to cover my string in the paint, but almost not by mixing it. So I find if I just almost do this, look, and add the string, and I'm using my coffee stirrer to prod it and almost press it down. Now it doesn't matter if I get a little bit of contamination from one colour to another, but I just find the coffee stirrer is definitely easier than doing it with my hand. It might be you want to wear gloves, in which case go ahead, wear your gloves, but don't get paint on all of the string. You do need to keep the end without paint on. So I'm warning you now, if you get paint to the end, you haven't listened. You've just got carried away with paintiness. So I'm just going to almost push these into the paint because I want them just covered if I can in paint. So what did you do today? Oh, I just used a coffee stirrer and I played with some string in some paint. It's good going back to being a child, isn't it? Well, I say going back to, I think I'm still there. But you know what? I'm happy being still there. It's a lovely way to view the world, especially at the minute. Right, and we're going to leave that in there for a minute. Now, the other things you're going to need, a magazine. Now, I've gone for a craft magazine, but I'm not going to judge you on what magazine you have. But a little word of warning, don't go for a new magazine. Don't go for one that you need, because you may just get paint on here. So I'm just opening my magazine at the back page. And I'm just going to grab a couple of pieces of copier paper. Now, I'm just actually going to go for ones that I've already stamped on, because they'll be going in the recycling anyway. So, and these are just going there. And I'm going to have 2 pieces of card. Now, for me, I'm going for, this is a card that I know will take water. So I know it'll take the paint well, but also I can, once the paint is dry, it means I can add ink if I want, I can spritz with water. I can take it basically wherever I want. Now, I'm just going to move my phone out the way so I don't get... Now, I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. So what we do now is take our string out, and I'm just going to lay my string in a bit of a twirly pattern on my card. And as it goes down, it will put paint on the card, so you can't really move it. And then where the paint finishes, there, bring your string back in and down. So the bit without paint, just going to check you can see, look, we've made a bit like a snake, and where it finishes at the top, where there's no paint, that comes down. And then all I'm going to do is close my magazine, and obviously just wipe this hand a bit as I've got paint on it. Now, it is, as I say, fun to do this. But do be aware, so behind my desk here on my chair, I'm just going to put my Inky Binky, because when you pull this string out... Oh, sorry, and I've just knocked the camera. Oh, you know what I'm like, so professional. Sorry, I hope that didn't give you a headache. Just going to move this up a little bit so you can see the string here coming out. When we pull this string out, a lot of the paint will be on our card, but we may still have some on. So I don't want you to get paint on whatever's behind your desk. But what I want you to do is press hard on here. So you're going to press with that hand, and you're going to pull. And you're going to pull slowly. Now, I will warn you, you never know what you're going to get. So I'm holding this down and giving it a good tug, and then this string now has got a little bit of paint on, and I'm going to put that to one side and let that dry, and then I'm going to use that on future projects. I'm just going to wipe my hand and my craft desk here. Now, like I say, you never know what you're going to get, and my suggestion would be make quite a few of these, because they will all vary. Now, let's have a little look. There we go. If I move my pot, so this, I take them out of the magazine and just pop the magazine on the floor. So like I say, you get your two for one. I'm just going to move that string. Like I say, it is a bit messy. Just looked and I've got some paint flicked on my camera. Be fine. So this is what I've got, look. Now, aren't they beautiful? Look at those. I just think the colours. And as I say, the beauty of it is, if I show you them one at a time, And then if I just bring the other one in, look, move my paint out the way. And like I say, once that's dry, then it's up to you whether you add colour, whether you add background. But it is just such a fun technique to do. So I'm hoping you enjoy that. I'm not going to take up much of your time today. I'm just going to clean my mat here so I can put my... I just thought it was important. I popped in to say hello because, like I say, I know a few of you are struggling and I wanted to come in and give you a big hug and just say that we can have a nice coffee and we can have a bit of a play together, a bit of a chat and a bit of fun. We can get some string, some paint, look, and we can create some of these. Now, what are you going to do with yours? Are you going to add colour? Are you going to just leave it as it is? I think that looks stunning as it is, you know. What do you think? Are you going to add some stamping? I'd love to know what you do. And also, I'd love to know if you're getting a mess. Have you got covering on your floor? Do you need an umbrella around? It's going to take me a minute. I've got to get the paint off my iPad and the stand. But, hey ho, do you know what? Oh, there's worse things in life. So, there we go, ladies and gents. Just a bit of fun from me today. Like I say, nothing too technical. You need a piece of string, some card, some paint, lots of imagination, and just have some fun. Thanks for watching as always. Bit of fun for today. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your coffee and that cheeky biscuit, and have a lovely weekend. And just be kind to each other. It's so important. Love and hugs. Bye for now.